we're talking some Miami Hurricane recruiting because the Canes have the number 12 ranked class in the country coming out of the dead period, but I thought there might be a commit before the dead period. Talking Jaylen Waters, when he came off that UF commitment, it looked like he was about to become a Miami Hurricane commit, but he kind of hit the brakes. What's going on with this recruitment right now?
Yeah, Josh, everything still points to Miami, being the team to beat. Obviously he's been committed to Florida State and Florida in the past. So obviously Miami's trying to, I think they want to get him committed, but, getting him committed and locking him in is hard to do, as we've seen with Florida State and Florida. So they're going to have to play the long game regardless of when he makes that decision. But I think right now, according to Waters himself, he wants to slow things down a little bit, take some trips this spring. We'll get back to Miami probably multiple times in the coming months, and then make a decision after he takes some official visits. Look, Miami, to me, and based on intel and even Jaylen talking, I mean, he raves about Miami, the staff, obviously committed to Will Harris at Florida. He's now at Miami. He loves the crystal ball. He has former teammates there from Armwood at Miami. So a lot of things really play into Miami's favor here.
All right, let's go from the Tampa Bay area down to South Florida. Chaminade Madonna. They got a couple prospects Miami is after. Let's talk Jasen Lopez. Really intriguing recruitment. Two-sport star here, hoops and football, but his football recruitment has really shot up after having a monster season. What's the latest between him and the Canes?
Yeah, man, first time for me seeing him over the weekend at Under Armour Miami, and he did not disappoint. One of Charles Power's top performers over the weekend, and really showed wow. I think he had 1,300 plus yards as a junior. I think 14, 15 touchdowns, 70 plus catches. And you mentioned two-sport star. He has true basketball offers to play hoops at places like Arizona State, TCU, South Florida. So a true two-sport athlete with options. And I think, his mind has kind of shifted from maybe thinking basketball at one time to football. And I think where football comes in, Miami leads the way. I think they're the local program. They love to recruit that high school, obviously one of the top programs in the state of Florida. They produce players. They win championships. They come out college prepared to compete. And then you have Kevin Beard on Miami's side doing a great job. Everybody calls him KB. Kids rave about his personality. Easy to talk to. He played there. He's from there. So a lot of things factor into this decision. But I think Miami, look, there's other programs, Florida State, Clemson, Florida, Kentucky, other programs trying to battle here. But Miami's definitely setting the pace.
All right, let's stay at Chaminade Madonna. Now, here's another name Canes fans already know. That's running back Derek Cooper. He's the number 2 ranked running back right behind Savion Hyder. The question is, though, Chad, will it be hard for Miami to keep him in state?
Yeah, I mean, they're going up against some tough competition for sure. I mean, he's got the OV schedule, I think, locked into schools like Georgia, Ohio State, Auburn, Penn State. So obviously some top programs. I think Bama's in there as well. You have some top programs Miami has to work against to keep him at home. But look, nobody can say they're closer to home than the University of Miami. They want to keep him close, and he is very close with his mom. She's a big part of his recruitment. Basically, Derek told me over the weekend that schools are recruiting her harder than they are recruiting him. So that's a big thing for Miami. The running back coach, Matt Merritt, head coach, Mario Cristobal. I think Miami's in a good spot. Look, this is going to be a battle, but I think obviously family, specifically his mom being close to home, favors Miami. Easy to get to. He's been there a lot. He'll be back multiple times this spring and summer. I think Miami is going to be a team tough to beat, but you can't count out those national programs like the Bamas, Georgias, Ohio State, and et cetera. So, look, not going to be an easy battle, but I like Miami's position right now heading into the spring.
Yeah, Cane fans got to like where they sit, at least in the spring. Let's head over to Miami Northwestern High School. We're going to hit on a pair of top prospects there. Wide receiver Calvin Russell, 6'5.5", 190 pounds, number 4 ranked wide receiver in America, and he's got parents that went to Miami. So is he a Cane lock? What's the deal with Calvin Russell?
Yeah, I'll start with the Kane lock, and that's no. I think people would maybe have thought that, a year or two ago, and maybe he ends up at Miami in the end, but definitely not a lock. And I think the school to watch that Miami's competing with the most is Syracuse right now. He's been there 3 or 4 times, was there when Syracuse beat Miami late in the season last year as well. But going back to Miami, obviously, look, he's been there many times. Miami Northwestern's put a lot of guys at the University of Miami. His mom's in the Track Hall of Fame at the University of Miami. Again, it's right around the corner from home. And again, Kevin Beard. Beard is known right now as one of the top recruiters in the game. Kids love him, gravitate towards his personality. That's the lead guy again for Calvin Russell. Miami's definitely a strong contender. They definitely could end up with Russell in this class. They just have competition. Syracuse kind of leads the way there. He mentions Georgia, Florida, Florida State, Ohio State, some other schools to watch. But, I think right now Miami's stiffest competition is Syracuse. And if they push and they work and they really want to add him to this class, they have a great shot here.
All right, let's stay at Miami Northwestern. They have a safety named Tedarius Hughes who is committed to FSU. But I saw what you wrote about him. It sounds like the Canes are a threat to flip him.
Yeah, they're definitely the one to watch. I mean, I think Syracuse is one there too, but I would say the biggest competition for Florida State is the University of Miami. There's been some changeover on the defensive staff there at Miami, so he's still kind of learning, the fit, the scheme, the people, the chemistry with them and him. But he'll be back a couple of times. He wasn't there earlier this week. He was looking to be there on Monday, didn't make that trip, but he plans to be at Miami a couple of times this spring, kind of fill out the staff, hear what they have to say as far as if the scheme's going to be the same, different, how he fits with the personalities there. But look, Miami's definitely on his radar. He's been a long time commit to Florida State. They're the number one team right now, but Miami has a real shot to knock them off, and they'll be in this race until those papers are signed.
Okay, now we're going to wrap it up on this one. I saw running back Javian Mallory is getting a bunch of predictions rolling in favor of the Canes. Is he close to committing to Miami, or is you guys just putting in these as late or long-term projections?
Yeah, I think Miami definitely is trending here, Josh. I mean, they've been considered the favorite for some time. As far as decision timeline, still somewhat, a little murky there. There's been talk about maybe spring, maybe summer after some OVs, but I do think regardless if he commits sooner or even a little bit later in a couple of months, I think Miami is going to be tough to beat. They've laid the groundwork there. He's been there numerous times, including this week from West Boca down there in South Florida. He's close with the staff. He sees their vision. He likes the way they run the football. So a lot of things factor into why we're putting the picks in for the University of Miami. He's a top target. It's close to home. He likes the staff. He likes the scheme. So a lot of things favor the University of Miami. If I had to pick, I kind of lean towards him committing, maybe before he gets to OVs at this point, making that decision. But he could decide to wait and take 3 or 4 OVs. Either way, I like Miami's position here.
All right. The Canes are active coming out of the dead period, and they are trending with some top recruits.